Andrea Smith, Driver Services Manager, and I have brought Ryan Bowen, our new Blackwell supervisor, with us, driver supervisor, and we are here to end out your week from orientation. So I just kind of want to go around the room and introduce everybody. Got Ryan.
Brian Bowen, Blackwell driver supervisor. I've been with the company 2 years and promoted into supervision. I'd like to welcome you guys aboard. We'll start out this way, I guess. And since you don't have this mouthful.
Yeah, thank you.
Just introduce yourself, what you're going to do for us for the company, and your goals, what you'd like to do from here on out.
So name's Andrea Palmature. I'll be doing your heavy haul with the RGN. Long term, I'm hoping to go and get my doubles and triples so that I can start pulling your multi-axle, and then maybe eventually, you guys decide to make the terrible decision of choosing me to do one of the window races. But yeah, other than that, I'm from Louisiana, so I'll be doing the Central Regional. I normally haul cattle, so this will be back into, a little 3-year adventure of me doing heavy haul, so I'm kind of happy about that. Got a wife and a baby girl at home.
Nice, welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Ernie Garoa. I'll be doing a reefer for you guys. New in the industry and just hoping to learn as much as I can with you guys.
Nice, welcome aboard.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
I'm Todd from Georgia originally. Have a home in Texas now. I came into the glass division out of driving flatbed before, so a little nervous about breaking some glass. But other than that, I think we'll get the training in and figure it out and make some money while we're here.
Nice,
You'll do
welcome.
great.
Thanks.
I'm Richard. I live here in Southern Oregon. I'm going to be part of the going into the flatbed division. I'm a new driver. Just graduated school a month ago.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Matthew Davis. I'm a student here. I'll be going on the road Monday. with my
Hey.
Nice, welcome.
coach.
What school did you come from?
Advanced Career Institute out of Fresno, California.
Nice, welcome.
Thank you.
Zach Wood, I'm going to Montana, I'm going to be all glass.
Nice, welcome.
My name's Tasia Wilson, and I'm right here in the Rogue Valley. I'll be doing refrigerated for you guys.
Nice, welcome.
My name is Jeffrey. I'm out of SoCal, California. I'm gonna be going into your glass division. First time gonna be hauling flatbed and glass.
Nice, welcome.
Glad to have you.
I'm Jamie Camarlo. I'm from Madera, California. I'm also a student, and I think I'm going out tomorrow.
Nice, welcome.
I'm Mike, been with the company almost 18 years, I'm a class coach. I'm glad to be here.
Nice, welcome.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for coming in.
And we have Jennifer Ford in HR over here too.
Welcome.
Hey, Jennifer.
All right, so I'll let you kick it off.
Okay, so I'd like to talk a little bit about company culture. You guys may have heard about that a little bit throughout the week. And I'd like to kind of just touch and see what your guys' perspective is with what your guys' idea of culture is, what it means to you. Anybody?
Go for it.
To me, culture is like the home values, the principles and that's the way of doing things, For me, it's a culture is okay, here combined, we like to get everyone home, as they need to get home, when they want to get home, so we can have a family life and be a family in the work environment and at home, all as one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all good values.
Like it.
Anybody else? So communication would be a good one.
Respect.
Respect.
Absolutely.
How we treat each other.
I just go by the golden rule.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
golden
might
rule
as
is a
well be
good
treated.
one.
Treating people the way you want to be treated.
Yes, correct.
And I think here at Combined we do a really, really good job at treating everybody with respect and treating everybody the way we would want to be treated.
Well, Mike was talking about that a little bit the other day about how even in the heat of the moment, we all know we're human. Things happen, but
you gotta get past that human moment. Let
Right.
everybody sort of deal with what's going on in the moment, settled out. Then it's talking about being human again. We're all can just sit around and talk and figure out where we are once the sort of heightened emotions of whatever is going on has happened. And that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
You know, some people, it's easy to fly off the handle and then have the other person fly off the handle, and then you've got people flying off the handle all over the place without any resolution.
Right.
But if you allow that time for the natural craziness of whatever incident happened to sort of settle, let people sleep on a little bit, think about what's going on, it's always a better place to start when you start to talk about resolutions
Yes, you're
and how to move forward. So that meant a lot to me, coming into a place where everybody knows this business can be stressful and crazy and just all over the place. If you don't take the time to resolve those issues seriously, it's just a festering thing that keeps growing.
Right.
Really, really good that we do that here.
Yeah, you have to step back from the situation, be able to look at it from multiple points of view instead of just the one, so that decisions can be made, processes can be discovered, that kind of thing. Absolutely.
Yep.
Anybody else have any thoughts or ideas? Okay. So with communication being one of the key things for culture, I'd like to hit on when you're communicating with your dispatch. If you think that you're going to be late, not like 3 hours before your appointment time or 5 hours before your appointment time, like a day or two before your appointment time. If you get, it's winter time and you guys will be in areas where snowstorm will just come out of the nowhere, like in Wyoming or Colorado. It may be blue coming from Colorado, but once you get into Wyoming, well, there's suddenly a snowstorm that you didn't anticipate. It's very, very imperative that we communicate that to your dispatcher, right? So they can make the proper call to who they need to call to the customer. They can get the load rescheduled. They can make you guys not have to worry. It takes the pressure off of you guys. So what happens is if we don't communicate that, now it's a service failure not only on you, but as us as a company as well, right? So we need to make sure that even if you guys have a blowout, or if you think, hey, this may delay our appointment time, call your dispatcher. If your dispatcher's not there, call driver services. Let us know so we can email your dispatcher, so first thing come Monday morning they can get on top of it. We are getting a lot of service failures due to weather, due to breakdowns, accidents, and it's coming into the communications coming in too late to where the dispatcher is now not on top of things, and we're losing customers and they're going elsewhere because we're not providing a service. So we need to make sure that we're communicating all the time, whether you have a blowout and you're stopped on the freeway, there's an accident, weather, all those things. Make sure that you guys are communicating constantly with your dispatcher. It's very, very important.
We'll try and do that with you as much as possible as well, and that's all of the departments. I know that Mike, I don't actually, it's probably still in your guys' orientation, but the 2 hour voicemail?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
yeah,
get a call
so-
back within 2 hours.
Right. So we're trying really hard to make sure that everybody is sticking to that. So if you're not getting that resolution, call back give us a call in driver services. We'll reach out, see if we can help expedite that process for you. You guys are the one driver that you need to be focused on, and we're focusing on many drivers. So we're trying to do that all cohesively with everybody. So the more you're communicating, the more we're communicating, and everybody is all getting on that same page. So it kind of leads back to the whole communication, respect, treat others if you want to be how you want to be treated. So it keeps us all on that same page.
We're really here for your guys' success. We want you guys to succeed, but if we don't have that communication in place, we can't help you guys succeed, and then in turn, you guys are failing and we're failing as a team, right? So we got to make sure that the communication is open on both sides. So if you've put in a phone call to your dispatcher, they didn't answer, it's after hours, call driver services, send an email. So you have not only a call to your dispatcher or a call to driver services, now you have an email thread started, right? So they can't come back and say, well, we didn't receive communication, because things happen.
Yeah.
You know, driver service could be busy and oh crap, I forgot to send that email. Well, you sent an email to back that up too. So always keep an open line of communication with driver services and your dispatcher. But first and foremost, your dispatcher is your first point of contact.
So do the emails go, like, so we're in an instance, whatever it is, we're out on the road, we've called it in and, you know, started the communication process, but we haven't heard back yet. Who do we send that email to? Driver services or dispatch, or both?
You could do it
Or both.
Or
Okay.
both.
Yeah.
And I guess that's easy. I don't envy you guys, because the more we think about having 450 drivers out there, and you guys are thinking about everybody, and we're thinking about ourselves. But I know also that the longer drivers are around, the more you get to know them, the
Absolutely.
easier it is to understand when somebody freaks out and what they're going through individually, because you know them a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to
But always
bear with us until then.
always communicate. That's a really key point of making you guys successful and us successful, is communication.
Yeah, and that means like all the little things along the road, like reporting accidents and incidents. Don't wait until 2 days later to say, oh yeah, I had this thing happen. We need to know about those kinds of things right away, so that if there's something that needs to be done, we can get involved right away. Accidents along the road, damaging something at a shipper, running over a curb, you know, those kinds of things we need to be aware of. We need pictures right away. We need to make a report of it. So the sooner we know, the sooner we can make sure that that is in the hands of the people that need it, so that they know what's going on as well.
You have anything else you want to add to that?
Not to.
Okay, the other thing I want to hit on is combines and Blackwell CSA score. Overall, we're doing pretty good in all the categories except for one, which happens to be hours of service. Combined has an 88%, the threshold is 65%.
Oh, wow.
So they're way over the threshold of there. Blackwell has 71% with a 65% threshold. So PCing is a major problem with annotating. You need, when you annotate, when you are in PC, you need to annotate where you're going, why you're doing it. So where you're going to the truck stop for what? I'm going to the truck stop for facilities, or I'm going to the grocery store to get groceries. You can't just put, when you put in an annotate, you can't just put in a bunch of gibberish, because it's going to be a log violation.
On that, I'm just asking, so I normally put on personal things, not work related, personal use.
Okay, but it needs to be a little more detailed. It needs to be where you're going and what for. So you're going to the grocery store to get groceries.
Okay. I thought because I'm putting non-personal relations, I'm bombshelling. I'm like, because anytime that I do it, if I'm eating from the trailer, it's the only time I do PC.
Right.
I only bombshell PC. And I know I'm understanding with combined that we hardly going to drop our trailer. We're going to be married, and Jim used the term, we're married to that trailer
Correct.
and stuff. So now I'm going to have to change my mentality on that. If I'm going to the store, hey, I'm going to the grocery store because of this, or I'm going to Walmart because of this. Because Walmart, some Walmarts I know we can pull in. Excuse me, some of them we can't.
Right. So
Stuff like that.
if somebody puts a bunch of question marks and dots in there, that's not acceptable.
Correct.
So, and we're seeing a lot of that.
Oh, wow.
People are, when they're annotating, they're putting dots and question marks or a bunch of letters, and it's not telling where they're going and why they're doing it. It has to be clear and precise for the DOT officer, because you have to know, they need to know why you're going there, because if you're out of hours, you're out of hours. You cannot move that truck.
Really though, if I'm going to the grocery store, they should know I'm going for groceries. I'm not, I mean, they don't wanna know that I'm buying.
So you're
trash
go,
bags
so
with bread.
where are you going? Are you going to Albertsons? Are you going to Walmart? Are you going to Safeway? So you would annotate going to Albertsons 3 blocks away for groceries.
But see, we only use 60 characters.
Okay, so
That's
kind of
well within 60 characters, you're saying going to Albertsons
For groceries.
for groceries,
for what they sell.
right? So
Obvious to me,
Going
that's
to
a
get
grocery
food.
store.
Going to get food.
But that's not what they're, my point is, that's not what they're looking for. They're not trying to say, if you said, I'm going to the mall, then maybe you want to be more specific. I need to go pick up clothes. I need to go, go to the eye doctor. I need to do
Right.
whatever I'm doing. But if you say I'm going to the grocery store, they don't understand you're going to buy groceries. To me, that's on DOT. I don't have to go through and tell you that I'm picking up bread and cheese and.
right, you don't have to go.
whatever.
You just need to. I'm going to get groceries. I'm going to Albertsons to get
Going to
groceries.
Albertsons to get groceries, and it's 3 miles up the road.
Right.
Whenever I would do it, I would be simple and put going to store for food. Something like that, going to McDonald's.
Because what we're getting a lot of is people expiring their 11-hour clock or their 14-hour clock, and they're advancing the load. We can never, ever advance the load.
Yep.
What does that mean, advancing?
When you can't go anymore on your clock, so you're stopping, putting yourself on personal conveyance and still finishing out your load.
What is the, okay,
Can't
so
advance
let's
the
say you get stuck in between. You have to find a place to shut down.
Safe
And I'm
haven.
not saying that you should, I'm saying, but that does happen. And I've seen it. Where
Right.
you-
So if you're in an instance where you're in the middle of nowhere on a 2-lane road, and all you have is a shoulder, you need to pull over, do your post trip there. You need to annotate going to safe parking.
Got
Going to
it.
safe-
That's
Okay.
what I wanted to know.
So
I think that makes sense to me, and I think I've done it exactly.
safe
the way
haven
before.
is not a thing, guys.
Yeah.
Safe haven doesn't exist unless you're hauling hazmat. It's not a thing.
Oh, okay.
It has to say safe parking.
Safe
Oh,
parking.
safe parking. I've
Safe
always used
parking.
the word safe haven because to me, safe haven is a truck stop,
I
a
got
rest
you.
area, and stuff. That's what a safe haven is. To me. Somewhere where I feel safe. It can be a rest area.
They don't care what
It can
it
be a.
For that language, that
No, I mean,
language
DOT
is
does.
hazmat only.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
not.
okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
Trooper told me
neither
to use
until you're
safe
telling me
haven,
this
so I
now.
didn't know that it was
Yeah.
only for hazmat. So
That's
they
good,
could
though.
talk
It's
to
good
them.
to
And
know.
so we're getting
That's-
dinged on verbiage. People are not verbalizing. They're using safe haven instead of safe parking.
I
So if
tell you
you're
something that might help with that too, and I don't know if there's something like this, but if there's a DOT preferred verbiage sheet, seriously, I don't mean to make light of it. I think that if they're looking for specific things and we know what they are, I don't see why any of us would say, hey, I have a problem doing that.
Correct.
But with all of us being out there and thinking that, okay, I just need to communicate that this, we'll all communicate it differently, obviously. So if we had I don't know if there's a way to say, in these 10 instances at least where we're getting the highest scores where we shouldn't be, maybe we can come up with a sheet that says, all right, well, if you're doing this, we understand the circumstance, this is what you gotta say when you're doing it.
right.
And then maybe we
CYAR.
cover our butts and get out of those 10 most critical areas and satisfy what the DOT needs.
Right.
Just
The simplified stuff he's telling you right now is exactly what you need to know.
yeah,
Keep it simple,
yeah.
keep it direct.
Hey, well,
So
and be honest.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
I did my post trip. I'm going for safe parking. It's 10 miles up the road. or
if you run out of hours in Shady Cove and you have nowhere to park, pull over, do your post trip, call driver services if your dispatcher's not there. Say, hey, I'm out of hours. I'm on the side of the road in Shady Cove. May I PC to safe parking?
There we go.
So
That's another step that just puts it out of my hands and CYA
right.
covers my fine.
And they'll say, well, yeah, you have 45 minutes. They'll either approve it or deny it, which most likely they'll approve it, and then you will go into PC and put going to safe parking.
Be careful, plan your trip a little better. Next
Right. So
That's it.
just
Also catch
if you guys don't know about PC, don't use it. Call somebody and ask the questions before you guys get yourself into trouble.
There you go.
So if you guys don't know, call and ask. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, not on the PC.
I have one question. Isn't a safe haven as for, I don't know what you guys haul, but isn't it for explosives as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that's hazmat.
It's hazmat,
Explosives
yes.
are hazardous, yeah.
They're very
That's
hazardous.
hazmat.
So always use safe parking.
Yeah.
Don't use Safe Haven.
Yeah,
It's not a thing.
okay.
Did you want to go over chaining?
Yes, so we are nearing the end of winter, I think.
Thank God.
Somewhere.
Goodness.
Chaining, we're getting a lot of phone calls about people not knowing how to install chains on their tractors. If you guys don't know, pick your coach's brains. You know, say, hey, I am not comfortable with chaining by myself. Can you give me the additional coaching to show me how to chain properly? And they should be able to do that. Okay? There's nothing worse than being stuck in the middle of nowhere on a 2-lane road in the middle of a blizzard, and you put chains on and you put them on wrong and you blow a couple tires and now you're a sitting duck. Okay? So if you guys don't know, ask your coach. Say, hey, I'm not really sure about chaining. Can you give me a couple tips? And have them help you with it. Okay?
So speaking of when you're with your trainer, how many people learn best by doing? Almost every single one of us.
Yeah.
So when you're with your trainer, you do the work. You do the OBC. You do all of the things. They're there to observe and make sure that you're doing it properly. The more you're doing it, the more likely you're going to get it in your head what needs to be done without the assistance of somebody sitting next to you in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
That includes your OBC. That includes having to do paper logs. All of those things that you're going to want to know when you get out there by yourself and you have nobody there to help you. Of course, you're going to always be able to call and ask somebody for assistance. That's what we're here for. But you also want to have it in your head so that it's not something that debilitates you and puts you out of service so you can't continue to roll. So everybody learns better by doing. You do the work. If your trainer is wanting to do the work for you, say, please let me do it. You know, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
It'll help you guys in the long run and make you better drivers. So that's what I wanted to say on that piece. Kind of back to the whole communication, respecting each other, part of the same team. Your equipment, make sure your equipment is dropped off in good condition. For those of you that are doing drop and go or drop and hook, excuse me. Dropping your stuff for somebody else to take, or coming in getting another trailer, whatever the case may be. Make sure your stuff is in good condition and you're leaving it to the next driver in good condition. Nobody wants to pick up a trailer that has 3 services that need done right off the bat before they can even roll. So respect your fellow drivers, make sure that that's getting out there, and that you're letting us know when you do run into those situations so it can be addressed and we can get that taken care of so the next person doesn't run into that issue. Did you want to go over relay codes?
Yeah, I will, because we've been getting. So how many Blackwells do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So on your guys' OBC, and I'm not sure if it's going over with the coaches who are coaching their students or not, but on the OBC under forms, there'll be something that says request relay. That doesn't mean that you guys are requesting to drop that trailer off to relay it to another driver. What that is asking is for a relay code. So if you are at a receiver who's going to be unloading your trailer with a lumper, you will send that form under forms on your OBC. It'll say request, or it'll say relay request. You'll put in your CT number. You'll send the message. It'll be an auto-generated message back to you with your relay codes on it. So we're getting some calls, quite a few calls up there for relay codes, when really we can be using the OBC to cut down the call volume for driver services as well. So the more you guys can do on your OBC, the better off you guys are. You're not having to spend 15 minutes on hold because we got 120 calls in queue. You guys can do that right from your OBC.
And we're always happy to help you answer those questions, so don't ever feel like if you don't remember how to do something. Robert actually is going to be coming in a little bit to do an OBC class, so he'll teach you how to do all of those things. So your time off gets requested through your OBC. You arrive and depart your load through your OBC, all of those kinds of things. So make sure that this could be another one of those instances, like do it. See if he'll let you do it during the class so that you can get it built into your brain how to do each of those functions. I don't know what his class looks like, and I'll probably actually stick around and see so that I have an understanding as well. But we don't have an OBC up in driver services to help you through those things. So we can try and be like, okay, well, what options does it give you? Read me off all the options. Okay, push that one. You know, we can do that with you, but we don't have the unit in front of us, so it's not. We can't tell you. Just click this. Now click that. It's much more helpful if you guys know where everything is. So Robert will be in here doing that class. I think he actually is going to show you guys how to do the relay code. Is that what he said?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you did.
So if there are questions on that, and we're out on the road, it's a new system, whatever, we didn't remember to use a
Of course.
specific page, whatever, who do we call to find out about that then?
Driver services.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was never taught about the relay codes, and I
Yeah.
got to Fred Meyer, so I just called driver services because I didn't even know I could go to my OBC and do it that way. I'm actually just now finding
Me
that
too.
out.
Oh, but I meant, if y'all don't have an OBC,
Driver services
if y'all don't
will
have a
tell
computer to teach us how to get through there, then how do you know?
We're asking you to read off. Well, we just now
Only with
learned.
the options
Got it.
listed, so by the options that you provide, they'll be able to tell you which.
I got you.
Yeah,
Alright.
and we just now found out about it because he was a driver coming into supervision and saw that we were getting those calls for. He's like, they can get that on their OBC. What?
Well, that's what I was kind of getting at. It's good that somebody there knows.
Yes.
Because there'll be, some of us think it's a new system, or some guys it's a new thing altogether.
Mhm.
And those questions do come up, so.
Right.
Absolutely.
Another thing that I was also noticing, people are spending an awful lot of time in the shop for something as simple as a mud flap or clearance light. You guys don't need driver services permission to go buy a mud flap or a clearance light. Those clearance lights are plug and play. You unscrew the bolts, take the old one out, plug the new one, screw it back together. 15-20 minutes versus 4, 5, 6 hours in a shop
And $500
So-
bill.
and a $500 bill.
Yeah.
So with purchases though, you do want to let driver services know that there are going to be purchases so that we can let you know whether those are approved. Make sure that you know to transflow in your receipts so that
And you
we
will
can
get
that
reimbursed
email
for it all.
off. Yeah. So you do want to have those communications, but you don't necessarily need to go to a shop for those simple little things that
When in
most
doubt,
people can
make a
do.
call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
and we'll
so
tell you one way or another.
there's-
I'm not sure about
there's
this, I think
certain-
I can do it, but yeah.
There's certain things you guys can do to keep your guys' selves rolling instead of spending half of your day parked at a pilot or parked at a Love's or a TA or a Petro waiting to get something as simple as a mud flap replaced.
Hey,
So-
can I buy this fuse?
Yeah, right?
You know, when I was driving, I see my mud flap fly off. I would go in, stop the next Love's. I'll pick one up. I would unscrew the 4 bolts, put it back on, scan in my receipt, and go on down the road. And people are still sitting there for 4, 5, 6 hours.
That mud flap, yep.
Right.
I had,
So-
had a guy sit there for 5 hours just to put a headlight in. Dude, like, man, if you don't know how to change a light on your car, you can't.
And then you got the.
And that's
then
easy,
you
well,
got-
that's easy enough to learn too. Regardless of whether they know how to or not, that's
Backward was-
easy to
it's
learn.
not
All
my
you gotta do is
job.
ask somebody, hey, I could call you up on the phone and be like, hey man, I've never seen this particular type of headlight, but I don't wanna sit in the shop. Walk me through it.
Right.
You can teach me how to take the 2 screws out and pop the lens off and,
Right.
do all, or get
So,
up
I mean,
on the
there's
brake,
just-
pull it, yeah.
There's just things you guys can do to keep yourselves rolling and keep yourselves earning money instead of spending
Yeah.
unforgotten sakes of time in a shop
Not getting
that you
that.
guys don't need to do.
And spending money because we're out of the truck board and having to go eat.
There's
whatever.
YouTube videos for all kinds.
Yeah, and then there's
And
there's that
YouTube
shop
is
minimum too.
amazing. I
So
use
no matter if
YouTube
you're
quite
there
often.
for 5 minutes, you're in the pocket.
Like, I use YouTube quite often.
And just understand, we're not asking you guys to be mechanics, but something as simple as a mud flap or a fuse or
Light.
a light. I mean, that's something you guys can fix yourselves, and within 15 minutes, you guys are rolling down the road again.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's a DOT violation, you're gonna go to a shop, right?
Yes and no.
Put oil, put hub oil, grease your fifth wheel, whatnot. That's all stuff you can do yourself if you know how to do it.
So I mean, we're not asking you not to call or not to stay at the shop, but if it's something as simple as a mud flap or a light, and you guys can fix it or replace it yourself and get going down the road, by all means, do it. It's going to make you guys money. It's going to make us money, and then we all make money.
I took the dashboard apart on a kid.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
that.
No.
Okay.
That was quick.
We've had that.
I don't
Not
do that to other
dashboard,
trucks.
I literally took the dashboard apart to fix the heat and control because my control module under my thing was gonna cost the company $900 worth of labor. The part was $105. I paid out my pocket, fixed it, and went down the highway.
Did they
Was
reimburse
done.
you for it?
Yes, they did.
I killed the whole warranty.
Well,
No, I don't. Just
No, I didn't.
yeah, so
It was a module. It was a little module about this way. What happened was the module went out, and we're in 20-degree temperatures. No heat coming in, only the cold air from outside coming in. Sorry, I'm not going to sit there and shiver.
yeah, my recommendation is just immediately call driver services when there's an issue. Whether if it's something like that, we need to be aware so that we can
No,
say,
I did
hey,
call.
Good. That's
I called him and told him,
That's
hey,
the
this is
concern.
I can fix it. Do you want me to fix it? You want me to say it? And
Perfect.
get it fixed.
Perfect.
And he's like, oh, if you can fix it, fix it.
right.
Exact words. If you can fix it, fix it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh,
Welcome.
just stand by the motor.
What's that?
I said, I'd open the hood, stand by the motor. Okay, get your truck out here.
No.
Did you have anything else?
One more thing. How many of you guys went through Infinity this week?
I've done that.
We just
Other
did
places
it
and
today.
through here as well. So.
Okay, please remember to do your guys' Infinity. We got to be 100% compliant. I think right now, I think the last I spoke with somebody, I think we're sitting about 90%. We need to be 100% compliant on this because we are doing this for insurance reasons to get our insurance rates down.
Yeah.
So if we're not 100% compliant, then this system really isn't working.
What's your experience with Infinity? Like,
It was
It's
easy.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's simple.
It's not.
Yeah,
they're not.
It's a like 7, 8, 9, 10-minute video. You answer a series
You
of
get back,
questions.
and it's not long and drawn out where they're babbling on about things that leave you in la la land. It's actually, things that we use on a day-to-day basis that we're dealing with. Some of it's very repetitive, and that's okay too because it never hurts to hear it again. But that makes it that more. When it comes quiz time and all that, you should know, and it's reinforced or you learn and then you move on. The idea is that it doesn't take so much time that we should all be complaining about it. 100% compliance on that thing should be easy.
Right.
Especially
And
for
you
the
can
amount of
maintain
ones
it
that
very
you
easily.
have us do things.
When I was driving, I really enjoyed Infinity, and I would do it at the end of my day when I would get an email, hey, there's a new Infinity class. I was excited because I really did enjoy Infinity.
Pretty much what it breaks down to is if you guys stay compliant, our insurance rates stay down, any money that we can save as a company can in some manner go back towards the drivers.
Yep.
There's possible raises, possible better equipment. There's always a possibility of something being better for you. The more you take care of us, the more we take care of you. That's what it breaks down to be.
More
Scratch
profit,
one
more
back,
money.
scratch the other pretty much.
Exactly.
right.
More money in your pocket.
So we're struggling to get, not talking about specifically with the people who are in this class, people abroad who may be listening, we need to get everybody compliant with this. We need to get everybody on board. We got to have 100% compliancy with this.
So other drivers are seeing this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every driver
Are
within
you talking about
Combined
this meeting?
and Blackwell
Yes.
are also getting Infinity. We're just getting people who are blatantly not wanting to do it.
So this is kind of do the Infinity, help us out so we don't have to keep calling you.
Right.
Not only that, but like Infinity, the driver handbook, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, since him and I are still drivers on the board, even though we're supervision, we still have to keep compliant with it as well.
Gotcha.
So even as supervision, we still have to do this on
Yep.
top of that, so.
And new one's a doozy.
But aren't we, but we're required to keep compliant with it too, right?
Yes, it is
So
a-
there are some penalties if I go 8 months and I haven't done my Infinity videos and I've got, however many to catch up on.
Yeah, you'll
then I'm in
probably be
trouble.
losing your performance bonus.
Yeah.
Long before 8 months.
Long before 8
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Probably after 1 month.
And that goes for everybody, not just people in this class. It goes for everybody abroad. So the people who may be listening in, hey, that's an incentive. If you don't want to lose your performance bonus, I suggest
And if
you
you're
get on
having
board with
serious
this.
issues with it, you cannot figure it out.
Call
You're
us.
Coming through the yard, we have a computer set up in the career center where we can walk you through it in person too.
Right.
So
Cool.
So we just need everyone to get on board with us with this Infinity program. It's a really good program, and I've learned a lot from it, to be honest.
Took 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's less than 10 minutes and it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Very nice.
Now, again, just for clarification again, how many of those do we get per quarter?
It's once a month.
Oh, yeah.
Once a
So
month.
12 of them years, nothing.
No.
Yeah.
It takes 10
Less
minutes
than
out of
2
your day.
hours out of a year.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's less than 2 hours out of a whole year.
I did a similar program, but it was within the driver pulse. So
Oh,
through
yeah.
the driver pulse, they would send the different safety videos and courses that you would do once a month. It was very easy to do. If you're on your break, knock it out, and you're done. Next month comes around, do it again. So if you're just blatantly avoiding it, you're just trying to avoid something that you really don't want to do, and that's a problem.
The only other thing I had is our 2020, and this is kind of for drivers out there that are not within the room. We just sent out our 2023 handbook and DocuSign email. So it looks like we have received 210 of those back signed. We're still waiting on about 151. So the sooner we can get those back, the better. That would be very, very helpful. Does anybody have any questions? Yes,
How many times is there a round table?
every Friday.
Every Friday. And how
What
can we
besides Christmas week and New Year's week? I think those are the 2 weeks.
The two major holidays, pretty
Or
much.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, yeah.
So how can we tune in if we're on the road?
YouTube Live, I think, right, does it?
On our Facebook page, there is the link to the YouTube Live
Okay.
that you can
I just,
access.
just joined the Facebook group too, so.
Nice, perfect.
Just hook it up to your dash and then print. No, I'm just
No,
I
no.
was gonna put 42-inch TV in the front.
We're gonna have to keep
so
an
I
eye
can
on
just
you,
drive
aren't
and
we?
watch it.
Is there any questions with the people that are listening?
You have to go through the radio, actually, to be honest, you can have it there, we don't have to see you and hear you, that's all that really matters.
Very
We
true.
can set it up through Bluetooth and listen to it, for sure.
Very
that's
true.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
No,
watching that.
I'm not the dash.
Oh, yes, I was. I was being totally silly and
I
talking
know
about
you are.
watching it, so.
I know.
Out how many drivers do we have total?
402.
Okay, Mr.
There you go.
Statistic. Wow. So how many do we have listening?
20.
Wow,
It was actually pretty good.
that was a good one.
Are we?
So,
Yeah,
anybody have any more questions or anything?
No. Well, welcome to Team Combined, and we are glad you guys are here.